Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well in all truth and sincerity. Shalom, peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. The house of David, starting with the 144,000, followed by the 1/3 remnant. Shalom. All right, so you're seeing on the screen, man, hey, the first human, all right, known to be infected with H5N5 strain of bird flu dies, officials say. All right. So, hey, man, they're not through with this whole Demic thing, man. All right, Esau is going to keep pestilence and disease out here in the air, man. You know, because remember, Esau is he working on his new world order, so he using pestilence, famine, the sword, he using all of that, man. And it's really the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. It's the Lord that's bringing these things to the earth. In these last days, he's using his sword, his left hand, which is the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, to do it. All right. So this whole bird flu thing, man, you remember a few months back, they were going into the whole bird flu thing, this H5N5. All right. All right. And we all know, man, all right, that devil killed Gates. All right, Bill Gates of hell, he said that this next Demic is gonna get everybody's attention. All right, so don't just write off this whole Demic thing, this bird flu thing, man. All right, cause I think they already got a hokey pokey for it, you know. So this is just something to think about, something to consider. We're gonna see where this goes, what happens, what comes of this, man. All right, but hey, these devils, they're moving, man. All right, these devils, they are moving. And they're going to use pestilence. They're going to use disease. Let's get that. Revelation, the 6th chapter. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6. I'll start at verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. So this red horse represents Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. And that he's a violent man. As long as he's in rulership, there's not going to be peace. All right. I'm going to read on through. Matter of fact, I'm going to jump down to verse 7. The point is in verse 8. Revelation 6 and 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. And I looked, this is the point, Revelation 6 and 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him. This is still representing Esau, Edom. Death and hell, when you go back to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, it tells you that he is likened unto death and hell. He's never satisfied. All right. So this death and hell represents the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth. All right. Representing the fourth kingdom. All right. Rome, wouldn't the revived Roman Empire. All right. To kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. So these devils, they're going to use the sword, famine, all right, hunger, all right, and the beast. And in the scripture talk about the teeth of wild beasts, letting you know it's really that the Lord that's doing this. He's just using this devil Esau Edom to do it. All right. So it says he's going to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death. All right, when you get this word for death, it goes into pestilence. It goes into disease. All right. So he's going to use pestilence. He's going to use disease to bring about mass death upon the earth, man. Because remember, Esau, Edom, he is as death. All right. Let's get some other versions to show you that this word for death, it goes into pestilence and disease. Let's get some other versions to show you that. Let's do Bibles. This is Revelation 6 and 8. Look at NLT. And I looked up and saw a horse whose color was pale green. Its rider was named Death, and his companion was the grave. Because remember, hell represents the grave. All right? It's not a place underground where you go to burn forever. Hell, when you read the scriptures, hell means a bad condition, all right, or the grave. All right. These two were given authority over 1/4 of the earth to kill with the sword and with famine and disease. So when it says killed with death, it's talking about disease, pestilence, and wild animals. NIV. I looked, and there before me was a pale horse. Its rider was named Death, and Hades, which is another word for hell, and Hades was following close behind him. They were given power over 1/4 of the earth to kill by sword, famine, and plague. All right, pestilence, and by wild beasts of the earth. So that when it says kill with death, it's going into pestilence. All right, plague. All right, disease. All right, ESV. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and its rider's name was Death, and Hades followed him. And they were given authority over 1/4 of the earth to kill with the sword and with famine and with pestilence and by wild beasts of the earth. All right. So these devils, they're gonna use pestilence, man. That's why you see in this whole, you got this first death by bird flu with this strain, with the H5N5 strain of bird flu has died. All right. So they can very well bring this thing back because they've already said it's going to be another Demic. These devils I'm talking about. So they tell you right in your face, man. All right. So they're going to use, all right, pestilence. They're going to use disease. All right. And the next one could very well be bird flu, because a couple of months back, the last couple of years or so, they've been talking about disease X. All right, which is going to be the next Demic. All right, and it could very well be bird flu, man. All right, look at this. It says health experts predict that the next Demic could delete at least 50 million people. It has been labeled as disease X by the WHO World Health Organization, and it could be 7 times deadlier than C19. You see, the WHO has said that the potential next Demic may already be on its way. So this thing with bird flu, man, this is just something to be on the lookout for. All right? Because the prophets, we got to tell you, warn you about pestilence, man. Let's get that Jeremiah 28. Jeremiah 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. All right, so pestilence is coming, man. So this bird flu, man, it could very well be a big deal. It could very well be the next Demic. All right, like I said, it will see what happens. It could be, it could not be. It's all up to you. How about your mouth shy? All right, so pestilence is coming, man. They're not through with this whole Demic thing, man. They want to get people jabbed up, all right, for their former kill, because they're going to use that, man. All right, their so-called medicine, what the scriptures say that they are physicians of no value, all right, but they want to use all this to tie you into the internet of things, man. You'll be a walking antenna, all right? So they want to use pestilence to get people yabbed and jabbed up, man. All right, so pestilence is coming, man. So be on the lookout for this, all right? Let's go to, let's see. Let's go to 2nd Esdras 15. Matter of fact, before we get that, let's go here to Matthew 24 first, because we're in the end and the signs are here. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24, and verse let's get it in the blue letter. Matthew 24. Red letter. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24. I'll start at verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, talking about Yahushua, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And it's talking about the end of an age. All right. Verse 4, And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am a Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, which we're seeing. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So these are all signs of the end. Verse 7, this is the point. Matthew 24 and 7, red letter, Yahushua speaking. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, all right, and pestilences, all right, disease, and earthquakes in diverse places. All right, so pestilence is coming, man. All right, we had 2020, which was a precursor. All right, that was a test run by these devils. Ultimately, a test run by Yahweh Shem Shah. All right, but even worse, pestilence is coming. The next major Demic is coming, man. All right, and people are still dropping deleted from 2020, man. All right. So when they hit you with this next Demic, man, it's gonna be even worse. That's why I read that bit of information where they said the next Demic, the next disease, could kill over 50 million people, man. All right. Because remember, they have an agenda, all right, of population reduction. All right. All for the sake of their wicked New World Order. All right, so pestilence is coming, man. Now let's go to 2nd Esdras 15. I'll close out with this one. I'll close out with this. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15. And this lines up with verse 6. All right. This lines up with Revelation chapter 6, what I read, verse 8. 2nd Esdras 15 and 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. All right, and a big portion of that death is going to be due to by way of pestilence, by way of disease, man. All right. So, hey, pestilence is coming, man. All right. So, hey, man, this is, like I said, this is just something to be on the lookout for, this whole bird flu thing. All right, be on the lookout for it because pestilence is coming, man. All right, and we have to warn you about it. All right, so this is just something to consider, something to keep in mind. All right. I pray that this has been edifying to the elect through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well in all truth and sincerity. Shalom, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. The house of David, starting with 144,000, followed by the 1/3 remnant. A Baba Ball, Shalom.